Right, shall we start? Our second session is we will be discussing how to balance greening measures with productive agriculture. But before we do that, a very good question was asked, and we must face it, what does greening mean? Because clearly we must understand that fully. The European Commission definition of the greening proposals, which of course are subject to debate from the Council and the Parliament, let me remind you, the Commission's greening measures were three things. Firstly, crop diversification. In other words, farmers have to grow 3 different crops. The second greening measures was the maintenance of permanent grassland. In other words, if a farmer had his farm in grassland, it had to stay there. And the third greening measure that came from the Commission was what is known as ecological focus areas. In other words, a farmer had to take out a certain proportion, and that proportion is still to be decided, of his farm to put into wildlife measures such as woodlands or landscape features or buffer strips. So that is the political European Commission definition of greening. And perhaps I could ask David, am I completely correct in that?
I suppose that was.
Yeah, I as a David's experience, of course, is with the budget, and he doesn't like to be too practical. But I think we really, we do have to really understand what is meant by greening in political terms, because don't forget, our industry, and I'm a farmer as well, is very, very politicized. The days of my grandfather, or even my father, where he could do what he wanted on his farm and just get on with farming, those days are finished. We are now subject to what goes on in Brussels, in the Commission, in the Parliament, and in the Council. Right, on with the show. Can I introduce Pani Pawlikowska on my left? We're very fortunate to have him from the Polish Ministry of Agriculture, and he will speak for 10 or 12 minutes on how to balance greening with how to produce agriculture.